Thank you, madam. My name is Hefsiba Andason Petro. I am living in Tanzanian country. Also, I am a student in VETA Kigoma. This is a college that deals with teaching of different knowledge and skills that are based in training of vocational authority. Also, I am dealing with for this chance, it is my second time to come and present in Egypt. At the last time I presented, but due to the poor networking and communication failure, I used Sir Jacobo Mendelson to present my project. So he stand instead of me and present my project where I was having a project of electrifier trainer. Yes.
Come on, Hefsiba, start explaining your project and share with us. It's your time now.
Yes, thank you. I have come with a project that it's called water level determiner. As we know that in our world we have different things that have given the water. Let's say the container that contain water and other liquids. So there are some containers that are not found nearby the people, or where the people, or where a person cannot reach. So this can help us to determine whether the level of water is where has it reached, or if the level of water is where, if the level of water is there at it, is not already completed. So if the level of water on a tank, example, let's take an example of a tank. If the water of level is reached at a certain amount, let's say for the domestic users, many of them, they put their tank there at the top of the house. So there you cannot know if whether there is a water or whether there is full amount of water. So this project that I have come with can help us to solve that challenge, because many of them, they are still waiting until the water full there at the amount at the top of the tank, then it fall down. Then they determine that now the tank is over, then they go to close the tap. So now this project will help to determine whether the tanks, there is how much amount of water are present in a tank, or how much amount of water are not present in the tank. So now let me go explain the project. Let me start with a diagram of level of circuit of water. It's similar here. Here we have, it's called the diagram of water level determiner or indicator. So this
yeah, it is visible now. It is visible now. Perfect. Hold it here and now explain. Yeah.
Yes. It has made of 4 any transistor. This transistor is an electronic device that uses it as an amplifier. Also, it has made with 4 resistors that have its resistance is said to be 5,010 ohms. Also, it have a light emitting diode, as seen here. Light emitting diode are found here. Also, there is this one and this one and this one. Also, we have this one. Also, the resistor that have been said, it is here. We have resistor 1, resistor 2, also resistor 3, also resistor 4. Also, another things, we have a water tank that is already going to be measured with our circuit. A water tank is round like this one. Also, when the water falls into the tank, or when we fill the water in the tank, it's reached here at a certain amount. We determine that in our tank we have 25% amount of water that are already filled in the water. Also, when it's reached here, we have we determine that in a tank there is a 50% of water. Also, when water reaches here, we determine that there is 75% of water. Also, when it's completely reached here at 100%, we determine that water is already to be full in our water tank. Also, another thing is that this circuit, its operation is that when we put the input voltage, it's use the power of DC current. That means the power of DC is different from AC current. This is DC that we have negative and a positive terminal. That is called DC current or DC voltage. Also, this current will be given to this line, then it will switch on, it will pass through the light emitting diode. But when it reaches the resistor, it leads to the resistor, then enters the transistor. This transistor will be switched on by a water that leads here, because here we have another junction that comes to here. Then this will be base, will be the wire that will give the voltage into the water. Yes, this one as we see here. This will give the voltage into the water. So another voltage that or current that will enter into water. Water is approximated to have 50 to 60 ohms, kilo ohms, means it is more than it is enough to switch on our transistor, because the transistor always need about 1 kilo ohm toward up. Then that current that will allow to pass into that resistor will be ready to switch on our transistor. So now, when the water leads here to this wire, I mean that here there is a connection of wire from the transistor and to another one, to the tank. So when water leads here to the level of this one, of here, it's when the water reaches here, it gives current to pass through this transistor. Then this transistor will switch on, and then it's allow current to pass here. Then the connection will be already to switch on this light emit diode. Then this light emit diode will give its light, then to indicate that the water is 25%. Also, when the water increased to this level, this wire that are connected is connected from the base or from the base terminal of transistor, will get that amount of water. So that water will come with a certain current. This current will pass through this base terminal. Then it's allowed to switch on the collector and the emitter. Then this diode too will give its light. Also, this will indicate that our water level leads to the 50%. Also, when the water leads to this 75%, the water will come with current, then it's connect to base terminal. Then this transistor will switch on the another diode, the diode that follow here. Also, we determine that the level of water is 75%. Also, another, when the water reaches to this terminal, the water the level of water comes with current from the input, from the first input from the barrel, then enter to this terminal, to the last one transistor, Then the transistor will be switched on by current that enters the transistor, and hence to open the last one lighting emitting diode. That will determine that the amount of water is already filled in our tank that is store water. So now let's come to see the voltage that I used to switch on this circuit. We have 12 voltage of DC. Also another current that are passing through the VBE. That means voltage that across from the base to emitter leads the current of 1.06 microampere. So this is good for LED for switching our transistor that can give its light. So now let's go how to see how it operates. Now the project is here. Our project is here. That this we have like our power supply that have designed like rectifier. So this rectifier gives its direct current from a AC current that is used or is applied to switch our circuit. This circuit is what you have seen in our block diagram or our circuit. Yeah, its actual circuit, it has been made here. That here we have first transistor and the second transistor, and also we have another transistor, and also we have another transistor. Those transistors are NPN transistor. That means this NPN transistor have N type, then have that is negative type, also have positive type, that means the positive, and also complete with another N type. So this transistor is by its manufacture is manufactured by DC 547 DC. Also, we have this transistor is connected to their collector terminal with a transistor that we call RC, or we call it resistor, collector resistor. Yeah, we call it collector resistor. This collector resistor helps us, or helps the transistor to work at the Q point. That Q point means between of saturation and the cut-off region. Okay, that region that helps the transistor to work properly. Also, this transistor is taken when I read its color code. It's a 510 ohms. So this is special, or is good for give us our currents that are needed to the collector. Also, we have this diode. We have that lighting emit diode that have already shown in this diagram, that there is diode 1, LED 2, 3, and 4. Also here we have LED 1. Also we have LED 2, LED 3, and LED 4. So now let's see how they work. So that means I have taken an example of the tank that can be used. But for this presentation, I have taken this as a presentation model. So this one can be used as a tank, our tank that contains the amount of water. So this amount of water will be given into this. So here we see that there is a connection wire. There is a connection wire that enters into the tank. and they are arranged according to the level of water. They are arranged according to the level of water. Means when the water is here, we see that this diode gives right. And when it's increased at the certain water level, this diode will give its right. Also, and so on until it's give the full of the tank. Now let me go to the example of, let me put the water into this. I put the actual water, then we will see what will happen. So I am already switch on the wall switch that gives the, yes, that give the C current into this power supply, also to the circuit. That when I trigger on my power, it gives a current direct to the circuit. So now this means our circuit is already opened. When we see this indicator, we have green light emitting diode that gives this right. I think you see it well. Yes. Now let me see that, to see how this diode will be given its right when we put the water into our tank. This is an example of the tank. Now let's see here. Our water is here. Now we are going to put into this tank, and we will see how this diode will start to give its light. Will start to give its light.
Hefsiba, if you can lower the camera a little bit. Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect.
Thank you. Okay, now let's see how it's works. Now we have put this circuit on. Now let's put water. You see, now we have a LED diode that have already given its light. Already it has emits its light that, and I have put that LED diode in order to show that the LED diode indicates them something that are going into danger. Yes, I mean. So now this means there is a low amount of water that are calculated in our, that is 25%. Yes, as we see here, there is 25% when this diode gives its right. Also, when we increase the amount of water, we have the second light emitting diode that has emitted its light. So this represents that our level of water has reached 50% of water, as how we have already seen here. 50% of water in our tank. Now let's see, add another amount of water. Okay. Now we have seen that the third lighting emitting diode have give its light. So that we determine whether tank is very far from us. We determine that there is already certain amount of water that has filled into the tank. Now, if we want to determine that the water is already full on our tank, we add another amount of water. We see there is another yellow lighting emit diode that gives it right. So this gives us to determine that there is amount of water that is already completed full in our tank, that is to help us to store water. So there, the water is going to be used as an example for domestic user, in our home user. For example, some users are usually, example, in the bathroom, are usually to cooking, are usually for washing clothes and other and so on. So this, when the user is going to use the water, we determine until the water is going to be completed. We will see that the diode that indicated there is 100% of water will be turned off. So this indicates that there is low amount of water. There is 75 amount of water. Also, when the water going down to decrease, this lighting need diode will turn off, because we know that the transistor that we have given to our circuitry, to our diagram circuitry. When the water reaches here, example at the certain level, means it reaches, it contacts, it gives the contact. We know that water allow current to pass through it. I mean that when the water passes through, it gives its current then to switch the transistor and switch the lighting emit diode. So what we have seen here is that this light emit diode are switched by this transistor, but for the help of water that are raised at a certain level. So means a certain level decrease, the level of wire that are there will don't have the amount of water. So that will be, we say that there is a loose connection because the water is not found in that area. So this one will not be present. This one light diode will not be given its light. So we determine that the water that are found in the tank, either at the top of our house, is not completed 100% full. So we determine its low of 100%. Also, another thing, this project can be used in industry, also can be used in our home as a domestic user, for example, for cooking, and another uses of the domestic user. Example to show the uses of water, the amount how the people at the certain they use their water. Also, another things that where this project can be used in industry. For example, in industry, we have a certain industry that use the water to make or to manufacture their goods. So that if it's use the water, means there is increase and a decrease of water. So when the water decrease, this will help to indicate to the workers there in the industry that when they are manufacturing their goods, that we have a certain amount of water, or we have a certain amount of water if it's decreased or if it's going increased. So now let's look how this will be given out when we remove this water into our tank. Now we take this like this one. When the water is running off, we see that the first diode is going. The first diode is off. Also, when we decrease the amount of water, another diode is turned off because there is no amount of water that enters into its transistor. Also, when we decrease the amount of water, another diode is turned off. Also, there when the red diode remain given straight, we determine that there is low amount of water that are found in our tank. So when it's already turned off, that red lighting emit diode, we determine that there is no amount of water that are found in our tank. That will give us another activity of adding the water into our tank like this. So we will get that the water is present in our tank like this. Thank you.
Yay. Hefsiba, I'm going to be using it in my bottle at least, so that I know when I have the least of the water. I've got one of the usages list. Because I always get to realize when it's ending it. So when they'll be having LEDs, I'll know it. Okay, fine. I have to refill it because it's ending it. But well done. I am so happy that finally you were able to present the wonderful project that you have made. And I'm really happy because it is, other than it's a science, it is also an emotional response. It is putting an emotional responsibility on the people that, okay, you're left with this water, so be careful. You are left with this water, so be careful. And you are left with this water, be very, very careful, or else you won't have any water to consume. So that's where I really love the idea of using it. And let me know. And I mean, you did tell me about the domestic uses of all the of the project, but can you use the same idea into some other projects other than the water and all that stuff?
Yes.
Can you use the same concept or the same idea other than water, as you just told us, the domestic use, the use in kitchen, the use in washroom and all that, right? But the same concept of lesser the quantity of maybe liquid, and the light goes on, and the higher the quantity of liquid. So what other projects can you use it? I'm just giving you an idea.
Other project that I can use to
the same
give...
concept, yeah.
Yes. Other project, it's seen like when we put this, we give. I found that we have to add the buzzer. I say the buzzer that will give an alarm to determine whether you will not see here, either if you will not be present at that area. When you are another side of these indicators, you will listen that buzzer, then you will determine that in a tank there is already amount of water that could. Yes.
Yeah, true. That is wonderful. And Hefsiba, let me know what amount for one water tank, maybe original water tank, what will be the investment? How much money do you think, or have you estimated or costed of this project?
Yeah, this project, I think, as we see here, and how I have tried to give out this model of my project. I have used the poor tools due to the lack of such as the things as financial and other things. So this, when I approximate in Tanzania, I think for 500,000. Yeah, I think it's, yes, for simple tools.
500,000 for one tank?
For one tank.
For one tank. And that will be how many dollars around?
Okay. For the dollars, when you convert it, I think when 120 US dollars, I think we're enough.
Okay. And don't you think this is quite big an amount? Do we do something? Can we do something that we can reduce the amount? Because especially this project will be used in parts of the world where we are already lacking water, and that means resources are already less. So will you be working to reduce the cost as well?
Yeah, yes, that is good. It can be done.
Yes, we need to, because $100 is something very high in a price for, I mean, how do you cost it? LEDs are not that expensive, and the lights and the cables. What say?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I said, how would you think you can reduce the cost? $100 is very high for this.
Yes, the amount of tanks that the amount of money that it can be helpful to design this project and they become more useful to our home place. I think any kind of dollars. Yeah. Yes. There is a few areas that can be accessible for this project. Can it be?
It's okay. If you don't need to say it or tell me right now, I'm just giving you an idea that next step is that estimate a cost that how much one tank would use. I'm giving you an idea only. You don't have to tell me, right? So relax, just estimate that how much one tank would cost. If it's costing good, very good. If it's costing higher, then try to reduce the cost by reducing some of the item so that you can provide it to the people in lesser cost. The more it will be with the people, the more you will able to have your vision realized that, oh, my vision is to save water, right? To help people save water, to be people aware of saving water, right?
Yes.
So the
Yes,
lesser the cost is, the cheaper it is, the people will buy it and will adapt it easily.
Okay. Yes. Now
Right?
yes, I'm understanding. So now in Tanzania, I think one no one tank that they are cost of 300,000 on one time. For example, in Tanzania, they cost 300 Tanzanian shillings. So this will be good for example in our country, especially in rural areas.
Yes. And Hefsiba, is this only about tank, or because you people also drive water from ground, right? You
Yes.
people extract water, use water from drilling into ground.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
So this whole idea is for the tanks, right? But if you, by any chance, can you take this project where you can use it underground? Because when we use water more and more from underground, it also reduces.
Yes, someone saying that when the water is extracted from the underground,
Yes.
that this project can be used there because its connection, it's not based how or where the water comes from. It's based on how its connection it has made. Because when you take this circuit and connect it due to the device that you have to any container of water, it's function well.
But I noticed that in the diagram, you have separate rods, right? For the level of water.
Yes.
When the water reached at a rod, it is 25 and the LED blinks, right?
Yeah. Yes,
and then
yes.
when it is the second rod and the third rod. But
Yes.
how would you take it underground? Underground, you would need not rods because we cannot do it horizontally. You will need a vertical rod to determine it.
Yes,
And
yes,
with the pressure sensor.
okay, yes, I'm understanding. That can be used because everything that we are going to do, it's about innovation.
Yes.
Yes, it's about innovation. So when we look at the certain challenge or when we meet at the certain challenge, we are going to see how we solve that challenge or which means we would be used in order to solve that challenge. So there we can put example in different areas where there is extraction of water from the ground, that we put the water through the means of vertical means. So there, the water, the wire or the conductor of current are put down into the ground according to the level. For example, the first can be at the certain level, and another at the certain level, another at the certain level. So when reached here, it's light given there that there is amount of water, or there is a certain amount of percentage of water until it's given the full.
My job is just to give you ideas and ideas so that you don't just stop here with this project, but keep innovating this project and add into your more projects as well. So well done, Hefsiba, well done. I'm really happy. But let me know, what do you need? Would you like to call someone, maybe investors? Who would you like to call now? Because Gift is watching by people across globe, right? People from across globe are watching you at the moment. So would you like to say, I need to have this if I'll have this? Have you ever, by the way, with this small little model, have you ever tried it with the big water tank?
To the big water tank?
What original water tank? Here you are using it a bottle as a project. Did you use it with the big water tank?
No, I have just used the model only. So from the model, from the model is where we go to the actual activities. So there we take another tools that will help us to design things that will help to solve the challenge.
Very good. And do you have an email address, Hefsiba, that if someone would like to reach out to you, to help you, to mentor you, to teach you maybe, or to provide you some funding or whatever it is, so they can reach out to you?
Yes, I have an email.
Please tell it to people so that people can listen to it. And always write it on a piece of paper, or you have a blackboard at the back. So I can be a teacher to let you know, always write your email address so that people can reach out to you later on.
My email is Hefsiba Petro at gmail.com.
And spell it Hefsiba as well?
It's still like here.
Yay, thank you. It's hefsibaretro@gmail.com. Perfect.
No, madam, I've missed something. Before there is a 9 here. Hefsiba, it's Hefsiba Petro at Petro9 at gmail.com. Here we have 9 Petro 9 Hefsiba Petro 9 at gmail.com. That is my email address that I use.
Thank you, Hefsiba. Thank you very much for sharing everything with us. And I'm really happy. And next time, do come to us again, because I'm very happy the way you have actually managed all the technology. I can see your headphones. I can see the camera set very well. So well done on all that part. And I'm really happy that you're thinking for people in terms of raising awareness. So well done. Keep it up. And if you wish to say in the end something, feel free to share. We have a minute to talk.
Yes. Even me, I'm going to thank my Jack Mendelson. That is the one who has made my good inspiration for me. Also, I have my friend Innocent Richard that have give me inspiration that go there and just to do the participation or in global innovation field trip. That gives me the big inspiration for me, and I have already given the second participation in global innovation field trip.
Well done, Hefsiba. Well done. Keep it up, and we'll see you in the next. Give some new presentation as well, and maybe some new idea. Good job.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right. See, Nancy, this is how people like Hefsiba. I'm muting you, and in a moment we will call the other participant. See, Nancy, this is how Global Innovation Trail Trip and Jake has been constantly inspiring him, and his friends were like, go present. And this is the last time he came, he was not able to actually because of the technological issues. But this time he was really fluent. He was all prepared. I could see he's prepared and he's doing really well. So we are so happy. This is one of our success stories in the power of Hefsiba.
Yeah, I thought that was marvelous what he has put together and what he's sharing, because it would be so useful for where he lives and how it could help not only save water, but also, teach and educate others about how else they could also think about solving the problems in their lives. I thought that was wonderful.
And Hefsiba has all sorts of teacher attributes. So Hefsiba, be an engineer in life, be whatever in life, but you can be a very good teacher. So keep teaching, decide, you be whatever, you choose whatever profession, because the way he was explaining everything through the flow chart and using pencil nib and all that stuff, it was like, he can be a good teacher. So he has all that kind of attributes and guts. So well done. Yeah.